Celtics update. Saturday, November 16th, 2013. The Boston Celtics get outgunned by the Minnesota Timberwolves as they fall to 4-7. After a loss to the Trailblazers in Boston, the Boston Celtics travel up to the Twin Cities of Minneapolis, St. Paul for a date with the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Celtics.
Together and said, if it's good, let's save it for the weekend. So here's to the KFC $10 weekend.
How to contain their
$10.
Minnesota
Just $10 every Saturday.
Timberwolves firepower and the Minnesota Timberwolves firepower after the Celtics get off to a quick start. The Minnesota Timberwolves started to do
Stickers. Why is that you? Get a little loopy when you're hungry. Better.
To fire the ball into the net like Paul Bunyan firing up his axe as the Minnesota Timberwolves open a 33-24 lead through one quarter. And then in the second quarter, the Celtics fell beyond as many as 17 points. But then they began a little run here, and in the halftime period, the Boston Celtics trailed the Minnesota Timberwolves 55-50 at the halftime break. But then in the third quarter, the Celtics began to sputter as they try to get back into the game. But every time the Celtics try to make a little run, the firepower Minnesota Timberwolves had lots of answers as they shot that ball very well here. As they shot 42.6% in field goals, Celtics at 39.5% in field goals. And the Celtics trailed the Minnesota Timberwolves 89-70, and the Celtics tried to make one, but they ran out of fuel as they were overpowered by the Minnesota Timberwolves as the Boston Celtics get overpowered and outgunned by the Minnesota Timberwolves 106-88 to fall to 4-7 on the season. The only bright spot for the Celtics was Avery Bradley, high point man for the Celtics in a losing effort with 27 points.
The toughest route and the best route.
For the Celtics there, Kevin Love led the Minnesota Timberwolves with 23 points. Okay, Brad Stevens needs to sort out the team and figure out what's wrong and how they could solve it. And the turnover bug bit the Celtics again as the Celtics committed 22 turnovers there. If you keep turning the ball over, you don't get to win any games. That's what the Celtics did, but they need to solve the turnover bug, and next up to the Celtics will be a Texas road trip here. Tuesday night against the Houston Rockets in Houston, and then Wednesday they trot out to San Antonio for a date with the San Antonio Spurs. Okay, let's take a look what is going on in the other scores around the National Basketball Association here. Let's take a look at other scores around the league. Miami Heat defeating the Charlotte Bobcats 97-81. LeBron James 30 points and 7 assists. Dallas Mavericks walked the Orlando Magic by only 8 points at 108-100. Cleveland Cavaliers defeat the Washington Wizards 103-96. It was Atlanta Hawks soaring high as they flew past the New York Knickerbockers 110-90. 16 points for Jeff Teague here. With 35 seconds to go, the Chicago Bulls are on their way to handing the Indiana Pacers their first loss of the season as the Chicago Bulls are leading the Indiana Pacers 110-92. In Houston, it's the Houston Rockets are leading the Denver Nuggets 106-95.
5 minutes and 30 seconds remaining.
With 4-9 left in the fourth quarter. With 4-5 left in the fourth quarter, the New Orleans Pelicans on a tear! They are leading the Philadelphia 76ers 124-87. That game being played with 4:05 left in the fourth quarter. Through 3 quarters in Milwaukee, Oklahoma City Thunder leading the Milwaukee Bucks 72-65. Here, Russell Westbrook 22 points for the Oklahoma City Thunder. And 2 games that are going to get underway out on the West Coast. The Utah Jazz taking on the Golden State Warriors. And the Brooklyn Nets with Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett ex-Celtics, taking on their old Boston Colts, Doc Rivers and Los Angeles Clippers. Should be a good game. Celtics need to figure out how to stop the turnovers and play solid basketball. It's early in the game. They'll still force everyone, but playing time. Go Celtics. Hakuna Matata. No worries.